Is that all you had?
It's all we needed. Thanks for showing up.
Here, I thought this was gonna be a rescue.
Okay, so Quantum Break is really freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. I'm not really sure where to begin. It's been a long time since I've done a review. I guess we can start just with the story. So the story is pretty solid. It's original, it's unique, and the coolest thing about that is we get the single-player campaign. And by the way, this is exclusively single-player, which I love. I really like single-player campaigns. It's one of my favorite types of games to play. And in addition to that, we get a live-action TV show mixed in with the gameplay that changes slightly depending on how you play the game and the decisions you make in the game. Now, that right there is enough to have Quantum Break warrant your attention, because this is an entirely new way to tell a story. And that's another reason why it freaking rocks. It's super cool. I've read and heard a lot of people online that they don't really like the live action stuff. They think it's cheesy or like poor quality, and I don't think that's the case at all. One thing to keep in mind though is that it does stream from the internet. And so if you have slower internet, that might be an issue, although there is the option to download all the episodes onto your hard drive, which is nice that they include that as a feature for those that have the hard drive space. I wish Microsoft would do this for all of their Xbox games. I think it's just silly and downright stupid and incredibly asinine to be forced to install every single Xbox game from the disc. It is nice to have the option to install stuff to make it speed up a little bit in loading time, and I did that a little bit with the 360, but I mean, come on, even 360 games you're forced to install, and you have to have the disc in the system. It's just really stupid. Anyways, I'm glad that Quantum Break does that with the TV episodes, that they don't force you to install them, but the option is there if you want to do it that way. The gameplay is pretty solid, especially the combat and the awesome time powers you get throughout the game are just sweet. There are special segments that introduce those powers and how they're introduced, and the sandbox of what powers to use and when throughout the rest of the story, I thought was implemented just perfectly fine. Despite being a linear single-player experience, there is a bit of exploration, and there's actually a lot of extras to find and to read. There's a lot of like little TV episodes you can watch, tons of email, and little messages hidden throughout tablets and computers throughout your adventure through time. And there's a lot of like thoughtful, time manipulating, butterfly effect type of stuff that really melts your brain. And the first thing that I noticed with the gameplay is the graphics. Now, that's another thing that for some reason people are complaining about, that the Xbox can't do full 1080p or whatever at 60 frames per second. But playing on my 1080p monitor, dang, it looks just fine to me. I like it quite a bit. And the motion capture and all the facial scanning stuff looks freaking amazing. The eyes, the hairs, the clothing, the environments themselves are really colorful and varied. The graphics freaking rock, especially the special effects with the time powers and stuff. This being said though, there are a few problems with the game. More subtly, there are occasionally some weird checkpoints that maybe you might die a couple times and have to see the same cutscene over again, or have to listen to the same 30 seconds of character dialogue over again. But that's not too big of an issue, because there was only a couple of spots throughout the game that I had trouble with and had to keep resetting. That was kind of dumb. And of course, being an M-rated game, there is a lot of language. Now, most of that I don't really care about, but some of that language I do not appreciate. But you know, what can you do? I do feel though that Remedy could have taken the same approach as Alan Wake, made it a teen-rated game, and it would have been just fine, and more people would buy it. But that is just my opinion. The only thing though that really sucks with this game, I'd have to say, is the jumping mechanic. It's just all kinds of bad. There are some platforming areas where you're exploring and you're trying to find how to progress, where you have to jump and run and climb, and like maybe half the time, maybe a little bit less than half the time, it just doesn't work. Ugh. It's frustrating. When the news of Alan Wake 2 being canceled or postponed or whatever, I was pretty heartbroken. I was really like, no. But then when this new IP turned out to be Quantum Break, I was really excited. And I gotta hand it to Remedy. They deliver. They deliver in every single way, except for the jumping mechanic. So should you buy this? Well, I think if you are on the fence about getting an Xbox One, this is an excellent, perfect reason to pick up an Xbox One if you don't have it already, or if you're looking for an exclusive game that you can't get anywhere else and you already have an Xbox One, then yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's unique, it's fresh, it's fun, and it's surprisingly original with the time stuff. I'm not gonna really give it a rating like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, but I do recommend all Xbox owners pick this up, or if not pick it up, at least find a friend that has it and borrow it and play all the way through it. It's definitely worth your time. And for being an entirely new medium of entertainment, yeah, this game is awesome. Go buy it.